Hey everyone, Lori Gale here. I'm going to show you tonight how to make what is hopefully a delicious turkey breast in the Crockpot with some applesauce, some blackberries, sweet potatoes, and onions. So I got my turkey breast at Aldi. Love to buy meat there, really inexpensive, and you can get just as good of quality even if it's not Walmart brand or Crest brand or anything like that. So I love shopping at Aldi. I love a good deal, especially when I'm trying to buy healthy food. Sweet potatoes, have some red onion. Red onions are my favorite. I don't particularly care for the sweet onions. I don't know why. And they're what Sonic uses in the onion rings. It's not fair. Little thing of blackberries, also from Aldi. They have great deals on produce. I love it. And then I am going to throw in a little bit of Kerrygold butter as well. You may hear me refer to it as Kelly Gold butter later on. I don't know why, but I keep calling it Kerrygold and not Kerrygold. I like unsweetened applesauce, just all natural. This happens to be Musselman's. I don't care if it's Great Value brand, whatever brand, just as long as it's the all-natural applesauce. That's what I like best. If you hear any rattling in the background, that is probably my kitten Pond. He has stolen who knows what this time and is rolling it around on the floor. And he may very well jump up on my shoulder at some point, and he has to use his claws to do that, and it's very painful. So if I holler, that's what it is. Now there's already some chicken stock in the crock pot. It's another Aldi brand, just unsalted, good old plain chicken stock. And I'm taking my ulu knife that I got in Alaska when I went to visit my brother Christmas before last, and just chopping up my onion. I love this knife. It's so sharp, and the curved blade makes it really easy to get through thick items. And I'm just going to add that to the onions I've already chopped. And as you can see, my cutting board for the ulu knife is also curved, so it goes with the shape of the blade, which makes it even easier, can't talk, to do this. And I started to chunk up my first sweet potato, but then I decided, you know what, I'm going to put this in the crock pot, and I'm going to leave it in there for a while. So I think I'm going to leave them whole. So there's going to be a mix of chunks and whole. And I'm just going to take my ulu knife and just take the point here and just trim out a couple of spots that, I can do without those on my sweet potato. Scrape on down. A couple there. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to switch out my cutting board for my turkey and get ready to season that. I'm going to, let's see here, move some of this around to make room. In case you haven't guessed, I have a pretty small kitchen. I live in an apartment, and while I love it, it's nice to be able to afford a 2-bedroom place so that I have a craft room available to me as well as a bedroom. That did come with the sacrifice of kitchen space, unfortunately. And I just bought this brand new rubbed sage and forgot to take the quality seal off before I made the video. But that's okay. You can just watch me take the quality seal off. I'm determined to do this in one take because I don't know how to use the video editing software on my computer. So it's just going to be one take, and that's alright. Okay, so I love sage. It's one of my favorite spices. And part of how I came up with this recipe, and I'm just going to rub this all over. I'm going to get it up underneath that layer of skin. And I am leaving the skin on. I'm not going to eat it, obviously, just for health reasons. I don't want to take in that much extra fat, and I'm already putting a little bit of butter in just for the flavor. But the skin will also should help give just some extra moisture and flavor to the turkey, and just, you know, because turkey tends to get a little bit dry. So I like to leave the skin on and just kind of let it add to the moisture that's in there and help keep some of that in. And I'm just going to rub the sage all over, pick up the piece that fell out of the bowl, because like I said, one take, so you know it came out of the bowl, and it's okay. Nobody's Julia Child up in here. Anyway, so rubbed sage. So how I came up with this recipe. A few years back, my family was threatening to eat Thanksgiving dinner out, and I was just absolutely horrified. I'm not picking up the piece that fell on the floor on the video. It can stay on the floor and I'll rescue it from the pets later on. But I found this recipe, so to stop my family from eating out for Thanksgiving, I found a recipe for turkey and for candied sweet potatoes, the entire Thanksgiving meal, and was like, I will cook the whole thing, but I do not want to have Thanksgiving out. We just can't do that. So I made the whole Thanksgiving meal, and the recipe that I found was for an apple cider brined turkey. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay this on in there in my chicken stock. And I'll probably sprinkle some more sage over everything because I love it so much. Let me rescue that piece from the pets. Don't eat it, Pond. So it was an apple cider brine turkey, and it was seasoned with sage and thyme, and it was absolutely amazing. So this whole recipe I've just created inspired by that. That's why I'm doing the applesauce and the sage and the thyme, because they're, like I said, two of my favorite seasonings to use. And I'm going to go ahead, oh, forgot the quality seal on the thyme too. Just went shopping. There we go. And this one I'm just going to kind of sprinkle over, give some seasoning. The sage is what I really want to come out in this. I'm just going to sprinkle some of that. And you can tell I'm not measuring anything. When I'm making up a recipe, I very rarely measure any of it. And let's see. Actually, I'm going to take one of these back and put the onions in first. Get the onions down in there. I did really big chunks of onions. I don't know why. I just have a real preference for nice big chunks of cooked onions. When they get really soft and they've just cooked down in there, I think they're just delicious. And so I really want to get that good onion flavor in there. And I chopped most of those up before the video so that you wouldn't see me, you know, openly weeping on the video and making my mascara or anything run because I was chopping onions. I have a little vegetable slicer that I like when I want small chunks of onions, and it's got a lid on it, protects me from the tears, but I wanted the big chunks of onions, so I couldn't use that one. Okay, next I'm going to make a little space in the crock pot. So right now on there I have my chicken stock, my sage rubbed turkey, some thyme, my chopped onions, and my sweet potatoes. And I'm just going to make a little space in the center, and I'm going to go ahead and put all of the blackberries in there. And I'm doing that in the center so that the blackberries can kind of get to everything, but especially to the meat. I found this turkey breast at Aldi, and was like, that's a really good... Pond's knocking over the trash can to try to... Get out of there, Pond. Hey, it's raw sweet potato in there. You don't want to eat it. He thinks he does. He thinks he wants to eat everything. Anyway... So I see the turkey breast, and I'm starting to think, and I'm like, you know, I could really do some good stuff with that. And get my butter ready here. And I had already grabbed the blackberries, and I'm like, you know, I bet some blackberries and some turkey would be good. And I was just kind of thinking about it, so I went ahead and got it. And then as I was thinking through what I really wanted to do with it, that's when I came up with the plan for my Thanksgiving-inspired Crockpot turkey breast. Get a butter knife here to cut my butter. Okay, so I didn't know that I liked butter until my friend Amy turned me on to this brand, Kerrygold butter. I'm not going to put a whole lot in there, but just enough to kind of give it some flavor. And I'd grown up on like Country Crock, and I'm just going to smush the butter down in there. Country Crock and all of that stuff, and my mom would use like Land O'Lakes real butter when they came out with the spreadable butter. But I was like, no, I don't like real butter. I want Country Crock. That was the flavor I was used to. So then I tried this Kerrygold, and lo and behold, it's like the butter that God made on the 8th day after he had a chance to rest and think through what he was doing. Bless you, Truman. That's my greyhound, Truman, that just sneezed. So this stuff is awesome. Makes scrambled eggs amazing. Makes it all just absolutely fantastic. So that's why I want to throw that in there. Sometimes I'll use coconut oil for flavoring, but I didn't really want coconut oil with my turkey and sage goodness and my blackberries. So I'll save that one for my roast beef recipe, and I'll share that one with you guys on a different night. So I'm just going to take this applesauce. You can see it's about, what, a third full? I don't do math. I had an English undergrad. I don't do the numbers. That's somebody else's responsibility, not mine. But I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to pour this whole thing in there. And because I really want a good apple flavor. Because that was one of the most delicious parts about that turkey that I made at Thanksgiving, was that flavor in the turkey from the apple cider. It was absolutely delicious. And I think that's what first inspired my love of putting fruit with savory meats and savory meals. As a matter of fact, I have some more applesauce in the fridge. I'm going to put a little bit more and just cover everything. Get a nice even coat of applesauce over all of that. So this is actually a really big stretch for me making this video. I don't typically like how I look on camera. I get a little bit insecure about my voice. You know, do I sound right? Am I sounding ridiculous? How am I doing? Am I saying things like that? So this is a big stretch for me. I hope you guys really like this recipe. And I'm going to take a little bit more, just a little bit more of my sage. And just rub it in my hands to sprinkle it over. You need a little bit more. I don't know that you can ever really have too many herbs and spices. And you'll notice I didn't put any salt in there. That's another reason that I put a little bit more seasoning. I'm going to do a little bit more thyme as well, because I don't like to get my flavor from salt because of the sodium. I take in enough sodium during the day already. I really try to watch that because I bloat up like crazy. I retain water like nobody's business. And any extra sodium, I can't get my rings off my fingers, none of it. So when I cook at home, I don't cook with any salt. And that's how I was raised cooking. That's how my mom made all of our meals. So that's how I make mine. So everything's in the crock pot, and I'm going to cook it on low overnight. And I'm really excited about this. Tomorrow's a long day for me. I have work all day, which I get to work at about 7. I work until 4, and then I go to class tomorrow night from 5:30 until 8:15. So I'm really excited to have a brand new recipe to try tomorrow. Make it through hump day. You know, it's going to be Wednesday tomorrow, halfway through the week, and this will be a nice treat in the middle of the week. So I'm gonna get up in the morning and taste test it and let y'all know what I think. But I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you're inspired to come up with your own recipes. Share them, and you can post them in our Fresh February food group, our clean eating group. Would love to hear what you've come up with. I love experimenting with recipes, and I'm going to keep doing it throughout this month and posting these videos. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes, and I will let you know how this one turns out. Have a good night, guys.